Sharma and welcome to Insights, where we talk about a new topic in every episode. The last topic that we discussed was 5 strengths of Hinduism. Today we are going to talk about 2 weaknesses of Hinduism. Welcome Rajesh. So can you tell us about the weaknesses of Hinduism as is the discussion today?
Hi Ananya, it's good to talk today about some weaknesses as well. In the last episode we spoke about how Hinduism is a great world religion, one of the greatest. And today we can talk about how while it's one of the greatest religions on the planet, it can become still greater. It has still great potential, and it's potentially it can change faith systems across the world, across the planet, if we undertake 2 crucial reforms. So this is not as such a criticism, it's just an endeavor to become better. The first reform that we need to carry out is to get rid of the caste system in Hinduism. And I'm not the first person speaking about this. The great Vivekananda, he was speaking about caste, and he said, caste is just a kind of occupational division which was there in traditional Hindu society, that certain people are doing certain tasks. It was not anything religious. Later it became something religious. If you read the Gita also does not talk about the rigidity of caste. And it talks about how caste is a matter of your talent and aptitude. If you are a thinker, if you wish to become learned in some things, then you are a natural Brahmin. If you want to be a warrior, so it's not connected to how you may have been born in a particular family. It's not a rigid system. So that's something we need to get rid of. It's something which is holding back the greatness of Hindu religion. And the second connected weakness in Hinduism is that issue of conversion. We have a great strength compared to certain other religions, that we don't have Hindu missionaries who go around converting people to the Hindu faith. I think people should be allowed to make their own choice, and it's a weakness of other religions when they go around converting people by force or through inducement. But people who want to join the faith, people who want to become Hindus, they should be welcomed. I remember that many years ago when I was in Nottingham studying for my master's in law, I had a Chinese flatmate. He came to me and he said, I'm tired of being an atheist under communist China. I want to have a religion. I want to become religious. What religion do you think I should adopt? And I said, well, you could become a Christian, you could become a Buddhist. He said, why don't I become a Hindu like you? And I was taken aback, and I thought, if this Chinese goes into a Hindu temple, will they really welcome him? If he says, I want to become a Hindu, will they say, we will make you a Hindu? No, because under Hinduism currently we have 2 methods by which people can become Hindus. The Arya Samaj carries out a ceremony. For example, if somebody needs to file an affidavit, he goes to the Arya Samaj, there's a ceremony, and then he can become a Hindu. But the majority of temples, the majority of people under Hinduism are not Arya Samaj. How do they become Hindus if some outsider wants to become a Hindu? So we should not proselytize like the other Judaic religions, notably Christianity and Islam. There is no point in interfering with or forcing somebody to convert to Hinduism. But if somebody wants to become Hindu, we should welcome them. Now the problem is that Hinduism has not been able to spread as a world religion because of this problem of conversion. And the conversion problem is linked to the caste problem. Because in the minds of many people, caste and Hinduism are connected, which they should not be. I mentioned Vivekananda's views on this regard, and also the views of other great Hindu reformers. But if Hinduism spreads, then the immediate problem before people is that how are we going to divide the castes in the new territory? For example, if Hinduism spreads to, let's say, China, then who's going to be a Brahmin, who's going to be a Kshatriya? This is a problem. So we need to get rid of this division. The other thing is that nobody will want to join Hinduism at the lower level of the caste hierarchy. If a certain community, a certain region wants to become Hindu, why will anybody want to be at the lower level of the caste hierarchy? Originally, the caste hierarchy did not exist. This is a later occupational system. B.R. Ambedkar points out that originally Hinduism had conversion systems. People could convert and become Hindu. That's how Hinduism spread across the whole Indian subcontinent. It did not all magically appear one day. It spread across India because that time caste was not a rigid phenomena. Caste was not a hierarchy, upper caste, lower caste, completely low caste. So this caste has to be thrown out. It's holding back the great advancement of Hindu religion. Last time I was in China, as you know, I travel across the world. Last time I was in China, I was in a particular place where people watch Indian mythological serials with great fascination. In China, there has been a vacuum, a spiritual vacuum ever since communism was there, and people are hungering for spiritual truth. So you have Chinese watching Indian mythological serials with great interest, but those Chinese cannot become Hindus. You have other religions who are doing shopping. They are trying to get converts to their religion. There is a great missionary activity going on in China. Now, I am not saying we should go in for missionary activity, but at least we should let the doors of Hinduism open for people who wish to join. So, these are the two things, in my view, two weaknesses of Hinduism which are preventing it from flowering, which are preventing it from expanding, which are preventing it from giving its truth, yielding its truth to millions across the globe. We have given yoga to the world. We have great dance forms. We have great spiritual philosophy in the Upanishads. You have people like Dara Shikoh, for example, who are translating the Upanishads. You have great interest in the West in Indian spiritual thinking. So we need to make our religion, the great Hindu religion, more inclusive. I'm not sure, although we have a BJP government in power, I'm not sure that the BJP government is the right forum to create this more inclusive version of Hinduism. They are working, I believe, on caste issues, but they may otherwise go with the more rigid interpretations of Hinduism. This is thinking people, moderate, intelligent Hindus who need to spread the word, who need to give the world a more inclusive vision of Hinduism, and I'm sure non-resident Indians have a great role to play in it. And I look forward in the future following these kind of reforms with regard to caste and with regard to conversion to a still greater exalted version of the great Hindu religion.